What's going on, guys? So in this video, I want to show you guys one of the best scalping strategies, especially for trading futures, whether you're trading the NQ or the ES. Now, for myself personally, I love to trade the NQ just because I like the violence, I like the volatility, I like the way that it moves. It moves nice and quick, and it kind of works well with my trading personality style. So in this video, if you've been watching any of my scalping videos or my teaching videos on my method, you definitely are going to have a little bit of a background with the way that I trade already. So we already know that we're looking at the big boy chart here on the NQ futures. Now, essentially, there was one trade that we could have taken today, even though today being up 225 points on the NQ seemed a little bit slower, seemed a little bit more choppy at times. There was still a one particular setup that we could have got into, and essentially, even if you were playing small size, could have rode this contract or rode these contracts out all day, and your stop loss never would have got targeted. You would have been in a little bit of drawdown at one point in time, about 10 points. And if you trade the NQ, you understand that 10 points is not that much. So especially if you're trading on a prop firm account, you want to really make sure that your position sizing is planned accordingly. And what that means is you don't want to be trading 5, 10, 15 mini contracts on the NQ if you're going to give yourself, that 10, 15, 20 points worth of kind of wiggle room. Trade the micros, allow the chart to tell you when to get out, allow the profits to kind of work, and allow the trade to kind of work out for you. So what we're going to be looking at here is this first setup that we had to the long side. So you can see here off the bell, we immediately pop. We really don't have a setup here. We're already trading above the 20 SMA. We're trading above the 200. This is telling you that we're already in a bullish context. Now, the pullback that we did have came to a major level here of support on your 5-minute time frame, which is the 50 SMA here. Again, no real short position here, because even if you were to try to take this short position off the high of day here, you had no idea that the pullback was going to come for certain. It's a little bit of a high risk trade here. Again, market could have pulled back into some of this rising support here and then did one of these numbers, right? And you would have gotten stopped out. So we kind of needed to sit patient and wait for our first trade setup of the day. Now, the first trade setup of the day that actually confirmed was here, and you can see this price level that closed over the over the 20 SMA. And that price came at 735. So what we were going to automatically do at 735 is this becomes the reason why we're going to take the trade. We're going to put a stop loss here at the low wick. Okay, so if we just put a stop loss here at the low wick, we're only going to risk 1 bar. Now, what we're waiting for is this candle here. And the reason why we're waiting for that candle is because this candle is a candle that confirms our reason why entry. Right, so if this is going to be our pivot, this first close back over the 20 SMA and this 10 SMA here, what we need to see is the next candle proceeding to kind of take out those highs, and then we're going to go ahead and jump into this candle. Now you can see here that we quickly kind of wick up and down, and then we have a little bit of a follow through here to the upper Bollinger Band. Depending on your position sizing, you might have wanted to take some profits on this run up. I always like to tell my traders, especially the newer traders, is that if you can get 3, 4 pushes higher, if you can get 15, 20, 25 points on the NASDAQ, kind of take those profits, especially when you're just starting out, right? Because when you're just starting out, it's all about building confidence levels, right? So you want to make sure that you're building confidence, you're taking proper entries, you're also using good risk management. We're only going to risk 1 bar here. You can see we have this little bit of a run up, and then we come all the way back down, and we do close below the 20 SMA, and we do confirm that. But again, why are we not going to take this trade, but we are going to take this trade? This trade here confirms, okay, so we are currently sitting long in this play. There's no reason to kind of flip-flop back and forth when we already have our stop loss. We're only risking 1 bar to begin with here. So if you see us risking this 1 bar here, even though we do pull back and close below the 20, we never take out our stop loss of our 1 bar entry. Okay, so in this particular scenario here, you're going to want to sit through the drawdown, and if you're not sized correctly and you go from being positive up here to now being negative or break even on this big red bar here, this can tend to get the emotions really flowing. But as a trader, that's the number one thing that we absolutely need to do, is control the emotions and just trust the technical analysis. Just trust your strategy and trust your setup. So we have a stop loss here at 1 bar. We have our entry candle here. If we're not taking profits on this run up and we do sit through the pullback, as long as we don't get stopped out, we're going to continue to hold this move and allow the trade to play out. And you can see once we do break the high of day here, we then go on a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 candle run up all the way to a price up at this upper Bollinger Band at around 15,662. So our entry price was around 15,592 all the way to the 60s. This is about a 50 to 60 point run up, and you would still be in this trade from a time of around 7:35 Pacific Standard Time all the way into around 9:15, 9:20, 9:30, and essentially put in a new higher of day. So that's the reason why I said that essentially we could have got into one trade, okay, one trade that came an hour after the market opened, set a stop loss, walked away, and came back to only see this up almost 100 points. With that being said, I'm not saying that I want the traders, especially traders in my room, to kind of sit there through drawdown all day if the trade's working against you. That's why we're only going to use the 1 bar stop rule. We're also going to look to take profits every 20, 25, 30 points, depending on your position sizing. But if you're playing correctly and you're sized appropriately, if you're trading on a prop firm, you want to be trading micros. You have all the time in the world to pass these prop firms. There's no rush to try to pass and hit your target amount in one day. So what we want to do is constantly work on those setups, work on those entries. Now, what we could have done was actually, let's say we take 4 micro contracts. We could have sold 2 contracts when we go up 20, 30, 40 points. We could have set a break-even stop then on our runners and essentially continue to ride this trade out until the end of the day and just make sure you're locking up and taking those profits before the day's close. But I mean, again, this is a very easy strategy that you can use. And the way that the strategy works is we are looking for those short-term change in trends when we close back over or underneath the 20 SMA. Once we get those, we're looking for the preceding candles, whether it's the next candle or the candle after, preferably within the next 3 candles to confirm the high or the low, depending on if we're going long or short. We're going to use a 1 bar stop, and essentially we're going to ride that trade until we take profits or we get stopped out. If you start building a trading plan and a system as simple as this and following your rules, you will be profitable more than you are a loser. But it's when you take this trade here, okay? So it's when you take this trade, you don't take profits, you stop out here, right? Just because we have a big red candle. You try to go short, you get stopped out on this move. You try to go short again, you get stopped out on this move. You go long, you get a little bit of a pop, it pulls back, you panic, you sell here, but we're still over all of this support. You get into this cycle, this very, very vicious cycle where you're constantly chasing each and every single candlestick, and you're trying to predict where this current candle is going. It's going up, it's going down, it's going up, it's going down. You need to take the stress off of yourself. You need to allow these trades to work out. You need to trust your stop loss, okay? Trust your stop loss and let the trade play out. That's my biggest advice to you guys. If you guys are looking to get funded with some of the prop firms that I trade with, those links are down in the description box below, whether you want to trade futures or you want to trade stocks. If you guys are interested in learning the whole process and you want to trade with me live each and every single day and you want access to one-on-one coaching where we can do these calls live intraday, definitely go to Evolution Traders, sign up, become a lifetime member to the club. You're going to get access to the chat rooms. We're there live each and every single day. We're also trading with a bunch of other really, really good traders that you can help learn and build off of yourself. Again, I am always available if you need to ask any questions in the Discord so you don't get stuck and you don't panic and you don't freeze when you're in trades. We just have to simply follow our rules and continue to take these trades and throw these darts. I'll see you guys all in the next video. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.